Portland's 2035 Transportation System Plan, which was published in March of 2020, outlines several goals to achieve, and while it includes sections on land use, it isn't really prioritized. The plan positions safety above all others as its first goal, but also includes great placemaking, environmental sustainability, equity in transportation, cost effectiveness, and promoting airport access. The transportation plan does make explicit its goals to align with Portland's comprehensive plan map to create a coordinated land use and transportation plan. This is intended to be done by coordinating street design and classifications with other transport projects. The plan does include a goal to increase the number of car-free households within mixed-use zones to 25%, as well as a plan for prioritizing centers and facilitating transport links between them. This includes the downtown or central city as a main regional multimodal transportation hub. Finally, the civic corridors like the Gateway between centers are intended to support transit and bicycling through transit-supportive densities of housing and employment.
Portland currently has 18 master street plans as well as 7 miscellaneous plans across the city, all with varying sizes and complexity. One notable example is the Gateway Regional Center Street Plan. The current state of the area is a discontinuous network of streets and sidewalks, high volumes of through traffic, and underutilized properties. The city recognizes this discourages walking and cycling, since it makes almost all trips require out-of-direction travel. Increasing street connectivity would disperse trips among many alternate routes, thereby reducing congestion, shortening trip lengths, and increasing the mode split for alternatives to cars. They plan to accomplish this by building 19 new street connections, 7 pedestrian-only connections, and vacating certain street sections that are often used by through traffic. There are also many large parcels of land that have not been subdivided, but rather maintained for development or redevelopment. The city plans to require any development on these parcels to also include pedestrian and bicycle accessways and throughways to increase connectivity, while still maintaining a supply of large parcels for developers. This is just one example of the many projects Portland has planned to improve their local transportation networks at the neighborhood level.
The city is well aware of the link and importance between land use and transportation planning. It is mentioned several times throughout the plan as being potential, adjacent, existing, planned, and compatible, but isn't detailed any more than that. The projects mentioned previously barely cover land use as a potential vector of reinforcement for their transportation system, and that's a shame. Portland has a strong transit system at its core and great ambitions when it comes to what it wants for its citizens, but they just can't seem to put it into action, especially for its suburban counterparts. Considering that the city sits in a valley surrounded by mountains and rivers, one would think that they would prioritize land use to be much more efficient than it currently is. This isn't to say that Portland is doing a bad job at being a city, because it's not, but like every other city, there's much more that could be done. The city's 2045 Transportation System Plan is in early stages of development, so hopefully land use will be more prominent and put to work as it should in tandem with transportation planning.